Now buckle up because you won't believe what happened to Meryl Streep at LAX. From a bizarre protest to an unexpected dance-off, this wild incident quickly went viral, but there's more to this story than meets the eye. Was it all just a happy accident, or did Meryl know exactly what she was doing? Keep watching to find out the unbelievable twist that left everyone shocked and laughing. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Before we dive into today's story, drop a comment below and let us know where you're watching from. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more crazy stories like this one. It was supposed to be just another quiet, uneventful day at Los Angeles International Airport. The kind of day where the hustle and bustle of the terminal was nothing more than a dull background hum. Everyone going about their business, catching flights, grabbing coffee, and barely noticing one another. But then, out of nowhere, the quiet was shattered. And walked Meryl Streep. No one could have predicted what would happen next. One of the most iconic actresses of our time, a Hollywood legend, strolling through LAX as though she was just another traveler. Nothing special, nothing out of the ordinary. The scene was almost surreal. She passed by unnoticed, just another celebrity blending into the crowd, or so it seemed. But in the blink of an eye, the calm of the airport transformed into something much, much more chaotic. What started as a simple walk through the terminal quickly spiraled into something straight out of a movie, only this was real life. It began with a small mix-up. A harmless encounter with an overzealous fan. But what unfolded in the next few minutes was anything but harmless. Before anyone could comprehend what was going on, Meryl found herself in the middle of an event that no one saw coming, and everyone was watching. You won't believe what happened next. The bizarre incident that turned a regular airport visit into one of the most unforgettable moments of Meryl Streep's career had begun, and no one could have ever predicted just how wild things were about to get. Meryl had just stepped off her flight from New York, looking as poised and collected as ever, when the madness began. She had no idea that her calm walk through the terminal would soon lead to chaos. The airport, typically buzzing with the usual travelers, became the setting for something she certainly hadn't signed up for. As Meryl made her way through the crowd, trying to keep a low profile, a woman in her mid-30s suddenly bolted toward her, eyes wide with excitement. The woman looked like she had just seen a ghost, or more accurately, a Hollywood legend. "Oh my God, it's you. Wait, you're not Julia Roberts, are you?" she exclaimed, her voice rising in disbelief. The fan's face was flushed, and her words tumbled out in a frenzy, as though she had just spotted a unicorn in human form. Meryl, ever the professional, paused and flashed a warm smile, her eyes twinkling with a mix of humor and grace. "No, not Julia," she replied, gently chuckling to ease the woman's obvious embarrassment. "But I'm flattered." The fan, however, was undeterred. Her excitement didn't wane, not in the slightest. In fact, it seemed to grow. "Oh my God, I knew it. You're totally her twin. Can we take a selfie? Just one, please, for the culture." Meryl couldn't help but laugh. It was impossible not to, given the absurdity of the situation. She had just stepped off a flight, and within seconds she was thrust into the kind of fan encounter that made Hollywood stories feel like fiction. Despite the mix-up, Meryl graciously agreed, posing for a quick selfie with the overly excited fan. It was sweet, endearing, and completely unremarkable, or so it seemed. But little did Meryl know, this small, light-hearted interaction would be the spark that ignited a wild chain of events that no one could have predicted. The fun, innocent moment was just the beginning. Soon, things were about to take a turn that would leave even Meryl herself in a state of disbelief. Just as Meryl was about to turn and continue on her way, the sound of raised voices pierced through the air. It started as a low murmur, but before long, it erupted into a full-blown commotion near the gates. Meryl, ever the curious soul, couldn't help but turn her head. She was soon swept up in the growing chaos that was unfolding before her eyes. A group of frustrated passengers had gathered in what could only be described as an impromptu protest. They were angry, very angry, about the endless delays, the overcrowded terminals, and the never-ending lines at security. Signs appeared out of nowhere with slogans like "We deserve better" and "Flight delays are unacceptable" being waved around. It was clear that they were fed up with the usual airport headaches. But what happened next was even more unexpected. One of the protesters, clearly caught up in the fervor of the moment, spotted Meryl standing nearby and mistook her for someone who might be able to help. Without thinking twice, the protester handed her a sign, one of the protest signs, and thrust it into her hands. "Here, you hold this," they said, eyes wild with excitement. Before she knew it, Meryl was holding up a sign that read "Airlines, take responsibility," and was swept into the chant that was echoing throughout the terminal. Take responsibility. Take responsibility, the crowd shouted, their energy building with every word. Meryl, caught in the madness, couldn't help but join in. The scene was beyond surreal. Here was a woman known for her grace, her poise, and her commanding presence on screen, now chanting alongside a group of strangers in the middle of one of the busiest airports in the world. But just when you thought things couldn't get any more bizarre, the protest took an unexpected, and completely absurd, turn. As if on cue, the crowd suddenly broke out into dance. Yes, you read that right. A full-blown dance-off erupted right in the middle of the terminal, complete with impromptu DJs spinning tracks and people from all walks of life showing off their best moves. And then, to Meryl's absolute bewilderment, someone grabbed her hand and pulled her into the circle. There she was, in the middle of a dance-off, awkwardly shuffling her feet to a beat she hadn't expected to hear today. It was a sight to behold. A Hollywood icon, someone who had mastered the craft of acting and red carpet appearances, now trying to keep up with a group of strangers who were living their best and most absurd lives in the terminal. Meryl's dance moves were a little stiff to say the least, but she was all in, completely game for whatever came next. She may have looked a bit out of place, but that didn't stop her from laughing and jumping into the madness. In that moment, it wasn't about the fame or the cameras, it was about the sheer, unexpected joy of being caught up in something so bizarre that it could only happen in real life. While Meryl was lost in the madness of the moment, laughing and trying to keep up with the crowd's unpredictable moves, little did she know that someone in the crowd had whipped out their phone and was recording the entire incident. What started as a simple protest, then turned into a spontaneous dance-off, was about to become the most viral moment of the year. Within seconds of the video being uploaded, it spread across social media like wildfire. Meryl Streep joins protest, ends up in dance-off at LAX. The headline screamed across every major news outlet. Clips of the actress, yes, that Meryl Streep, awkwardly shuffling and trying to keep pace with the enthusiastic crowd flooded Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And just like that, Meryl's impromptu dance moves became the talk of the internet. Meryl Streep secretly a dancer? One viral meme proclaimed, accompanied by a video of her clumsily shimmying across the terminal. The internet was eating it up. People couldn't believe their eyes. The world knew Meryl as a renowned actress with the kind of grace that only a few could match, but a dance-off at LAX? That was something no one saw coming. The protest we didn't know we needed, said another post, this one paired with a clip of Meryl trying and failing to execute some coordinated moves, making the whole thing even more endearing. Fans and non-fans alike were posting their reactions. GIFs, memes, and commentary flooded every platform. In an instant, Meryl became the internet's newest favorite subject. People were sharing their theories, cracking jokes, and throwing out all kinds of wild, fun ideas. Is this a secret movie role in preparation for a new musical? One person quipped. Meryl Streep, queen of the impromptu dance party, another declared. What started as a simple mistake was now an international sensation, with everyone laughing at how the whole situation had unfolded. Meanwhile, Meryl's phone buzzed non-stop. Twitter notifications, Instagram DMs, TikTok mentions. Every app was lighting up with new posts about her. Her friends were texting her asking, "Are you okay? What is going on?" And her team was frantically calling to make sure she was ready to handle the media storm that was about to hit. But Meryl, ever the pro, couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all. There she was, the icon of elegance and Hollywood grace, now the star of a viral sensation where she couldn't quite get the moves right. But somehow, it only added to her charm. "I never thought I'd go viral for my dance moves," she texted one of her friends, "but I guess there's a first time for everything." The internet, however, couldn't get enough. The hashtag Meryl Dance Off was trending, and it wasn't slowing down anytime soon. What had started as a chaotic, embarrassing moment was now one of the most talked about, laugh-out-loud moments of the year, and Meryl Streep was at the center of it all. In the aftermath of the viral storm, Meryl Streep sat down for an interview to set the record straight about what really happened at LAX. The media had run wild with theories, memes, and endless speculation about the strange series of events, and now it was her turn to speak. With a grin that could melt anyone's doubts away, Meryl leaned into the camera, clearly amused by the entire situation. "Honestly, I didn't think I was going to end up in the middle of a dance-off protest," she said, her voice laced with humor. "I thought I was just going to grab my bags, get in a cab, and head home. But, sometimes life throws you a curveball. And when the people around you start dancing, what else can you do but join in?" She let out a small chuckle, making light of the bizarre chaos. "I mean, seriously, what was I going to do? Just stand there and watch? Of course I had to dance. It's what you do when you're caught in the middle of something that wild. Her charm was undeniable. There she was, Hollywood royalty, talking about the strange incident as if it were the most casual thing in the world. Meryl's laid-back attitude toward the whole fiasco made her even more relatable to the public. She wasn't trying to brush it off as something trivial. Instead, she embraced it with grace and humor, a quality that endeared her to even more people. As for the protest, she continued, I think I've just added protest dancer to my resume. I'm not sure it'll be a major selling point, but hey, at least I'm versatile, right? Her light-hearted approach made the audience fall even more in love with her. The way she turned a viral, chaotic event into an opportunity for laughter and self-deprecation spoke volumes about her personality. It wasn't just about the dance moves, it was about how she handled the strange situation with effortless grace and humor. Fans and critics alike couldn't help but applaud Meryl for her ability to turn a completely absurd moment into something that showcased her trademark wit and authenticity. After all, only someone with Meryl Streep's poise could take a viral mishap and turn it into a heartwarming, hilarious, and totally relatable story. Just as the dust from the viral chaos was beginning to settle, another twist in the story emerged, one that would take the already bizarre event to even greater heights. Another celebrity who just so happened to be at LAX that same day, stepped forward with his own version of events, and this revelation would soon ignite a fresh wave of excitement across the internet. It was none other than Ryan Reynolds, the charming and quick-witted actor who had also been caught up in the madness of the protest-turned dance-off. I was just trying to grab a coffee, minding my own business, when suddenly, I'm twirling with Meryl Streep like I'm in a rom-com, he joked during an impromptu interview. One second I'm waiting in line and the next I'm in the middle of a dance battle with a bunch of strangers, and Meryl Streep of all people. It was like a scene straight out of The Proposal, but without the script or the choreography. Ryan's cheeky and self-deprecating humor made the story even more entertaining, and once again the internet exploded with excitement. The chemistry between Meryl and Ryan, born from this accidental dance-off, was undeniable. Fans couldn't help but ship them as the ultimate protest dance duo, calling them the dynamic duo we never knew we needed. Hashtags like #Meryl and Ryan and #protest dance duo flooded social media, with fans posting memes, fan art, and videos of their unexpected pairing. The internet was abuzz with fresh, hilarious content, and people were already imagining what it would be like if Meryl and Ryan teamed up for an actual movie. A rom-com, of course, where they meet by chance during a chaotic protest and end up dancing their way into each other's hearts. Fans eagerly speculated about the kind of crazy adventures they'd have together, hoping for a sequel to this real-life, viral rom-com moment. Meryl and Ryan, both masters of comedy and charm, had unintentionally created a new on-screen and off-screen pairing that captured the public's imagination. Their off-the-cuff interaction became something far greater than just an airport mishap. It was a moment of pure joy, spontaneous chemistry, and unexpected fun. And just like that, the internet couldn't get enough. People were making jokes, writing memes, and calling for a protest dance-off sequel. Meryl and Ryan's viral connection had given the internet a delightful gift, and fans weren't ready to let it go. As the story of Meryl's spontaneous dance-off at LAX continued to unfold, the internet was buzzing, but not everyone was on the same page. The incident, which had initially been a light-hearted, funny moment, sparked a roller coaster of reactions across the web. Some fans were completely delighted by Meryl's fun-loving attitude and her ability to laugh at herself. They praised her for embracing the chaos with grace and humor, seeing her spontaneous participation in the protest dance as a reminder that even A-list celebrities are just people like the rest of us. Meryl Streep is everything, one tweet read. She's the definition of #goals. Who else could turn a protest dance-off into a moment of pure joy? Other fans shared clips of her awkwardly shimmying, laughing at how refreshingly real and down-to-earth she seemed. However, not everyone shared that sentiment. A portion of the online community was less than thrilled. Some critics immediately called the moment a publicity stunt, accusing Meryl of trying to capitalize on a chaotic situation to stay relevant in the spotlight. Really, Meryl? Dancing in a protest like this is so beneath you, one user tweeted, questioning whether the whole thing had been staged for attention. Others, particularly those who admired her for her serious, award-winning roles, argued that the situation was beneath a professional of her caliber. They suggested that she should have taken the high road, handled the situation with more dignity, and left the antics to the younger stars. Despite the mixed reactions flooding her social media accounts, Meryl remained completely unbothered. She wasn't fazed by the criticisms or the praise. She had long ago mastered the art of navigating public opinion. With the same playful attitude that had endeared her to so many, Meryl responded with a tweet that read, "Life's too short to take seriously, especially at LAX." The tweet was classic Meryl, light-hearted, self-assured, and perfectly timed. In that moment, she showed that she wasn't concerned with what the critics thought. She was having fun, and that was all that mattered. The emotional roller coaster wasn't just limited to fans either. Meryl's team, working behind the scenes, had to carefully navigate the fallout. PR teams scrambled to assess the potential impact of the viral moment on her image, working overtime to ensure that the dance-off didn't damage her reputation. They handled damage control, responding to journalists and fans alike, trying to put a positive spin on the whole situation. But even with the constant flurry of calls, emails, and press inquiries, Meryl remained calm and collected as ever. Through it all, her ability to stay composed was a testament to her experience and character. While the internet was swirling with opinions, Meryl simply shrugged off the controversy, embracing the chaotic, unpredictable nature of life with a wink and a smile. If anything, the incident only seemed to solidify her status as one of the most relatable and beloved celebrities in the industry. Just when everyone thought they had it all figured out, just when the memes had been posted, the viral videos had been watched 1,000 times, and the dust had settled, Meryl Streep dropped the final bombshell. In a late-night interview, a relaxed and smiling Meryl leaned into the microphone, her eyes twinkling with mischief. "Well, I guess it's time I tell the truth," she said, looking as though she had been waiting for the right moment. The whole protest and dance-off, it wasn't as spontaneous as it seemed. The interviewer blinked, and for a split second, you could almost hear the collective gasp of the audience. The suspense in the air was palpable. And then, with a mischievous grin, Meryl revealed the truth. "It was part of a campaign, actually," she admitted. "We organized it as a fun way to raise awareness about staying active during long airport delays. We wanted to remind people that while airports are stressful, there's always a way to make it fun. And, maybe shake off some stress by dancing instead of just complaining about the delays." Meryl chuckled, flashing a wink toward the camera. "I thought it would be fun to shake things up a bit." The revelation left the internet stunned. What had seemed like a completely chaotic, off-the-cuff moment of public eccentricity was, in fact, a carefully orchestrated stunt. It was the final twist that no one saw coming. Meryl, the queen of grace and professionalism, had been playing the long game all along. Her easygoing attitude toward the event now made perfect sense, and fans couldn't help but feel a mix of admiration and amusement at the sheer audacity of it all. The viral sensation that had captivated the world for days suddenly took on a new light. Was it really a spontaneous incident, or had Meryl known exactly what she was doing from the start? Either way, it didn't matter. The whole thing had turned out to be one of the most entertaining and unexpected moments in recent celebrity history. Fans had been duped, but they couldn't help but applaud Meryl for pulling it off with such finesse. The story, once just a funny mishap, now stood as a testament to Meryl's sharp sense of humor, her cleverness, and her ability to keep everyone on their toes. The internet had been thoroughly entertained, and Meryl Streep had once again proven why she's one of the most beloved and unpredictable figures in Hollywood. As the dust settled and the viral frenzy began to die down, one thing became crystal clear. The mystery of Meryl's dance-off at LAX wasn't going anywhere anytime soon. In fact, it seemed to be just getting started. Fans, journalists, and even casual observers were still buzzing with one burning question. Was this all planned, or did Meryl just roll with the chaos? The debate raged on across social media platforms, with people unable to decide whether the whole spectacle was a brilliant stunt orchestrated by Meryl and her team or if she had truly been caught in the moment, just another participant in a wild turn of events. Tell us what you think. Was Meryl in on it, or did she just go with the flow? One popular tweet read, sparking hundreds of replies. Fans quickly jumped into the conversation, some arguing that Meryl had been too cool and composed for it to have been a true accident, while others clung to the idea that the actress had simply embraced the absurdity of the situation. "She's a pro," one fan commented. "She knew exactly what she was doing." Another added, "I still think it was a coincidence. Who could predict a dance-off like that?" The online world exploded with theories, memes, and fan-created content. People shared videos, GIFs, and even re-edited the original footage to create their own versions of the dance-off, some turning it into a full-blown music video. Others posted memes comparing Meryl's moves to famous movie scenes, as if trying to make sense of it all by turning it into a parody of itself. The hashtag #MerylDanceOff hashtag was alive with creativity and speculation. In the middle of it all, Meryl herself watched from the sidelines, content to let the debate unfold without intervening. And why not? The incident had left fans laughing, questioning, and completely entertained by her unfiltered, unpredictable charm. Whether it was planned or not, Meryl had managed to capture the hearts of the internet with her ability to embrace the madness without missing a beat. And just like that, the Meryl Streep dance-off became something far beyond just a viral moment. It was a cultural phenomenon. Fans didn't just admire her for her acting chops. They now admired her for her spontaneity, her sense of humor, and her ability to make the most out of any situation. The comments kept coming in, the memes kept circulating, and the question still lingered in the air. What really happened? The story may have ended, but the fun had just begun. Fans were now more curious than ever to know what Meryl would do next. Would she continue to keep everyone on their toes? The mystery and excitement surrounding her only seemed to deepen, and as the online conversation raged on, one thing was certain. Meryl had managed to turn a chaotic moment into a piece of pop culture that would live on for a long time.